Good morning, boys and girls.
Morning, Mrs. Watson.
So I have an ABC pocket chart, and I'm going to give you a picture like wah wagon, and you got to put it in the the W or whatever letter. So I'll call some friends to come on up here. Let's have Thea, Avery, Ty, and Mahina line up. You're going to be a turtle. Turtle starts with ta T. You're going to be X-ray, Avery. What does X-ray start with? X. You're going to be the sun. Yeah, there you go. Sun starts with S. You're going to be the queen. What does queen start with, Mahina? Qua. Q. Yeah, right there. Right here's our Q. And let's have Oakley, Michaelia, Packer, Pai, and Kaylani. We didn't get all the letters in here, but let's see which ones we have. Apple, a. Cookie, ka. And then I think we did lion, la. Mouse, ma. Pig, pa. Queen, qua. Sun, s. Turtle, t. Wagon, wah. X-ray, x. Do you know these letter sounds? They will help you learn to read. Today we're going to be learning letter W. And it's getting really long. W looks like down, up. It kind of looks like two of them together, two V's. And I have a story to read today. And you might know this story. It's called Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Where the Wild Things Are. Which word starts with W? Wild, yeah. The night Max wore his wolf suit, he made mischief of one kind or another. Look, he's chasing the dog with a fork. Does the dog like to be poked with a fork?
No.
Nope. His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew. And it grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. And he sailed off through a night and a day. And in and out of weeks and almost a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. And Max said, be still. And he tamed them with the magic trick of staring in their eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of the wild things. And now, said Max, let the wild rumpus start. And they howled at the moon. Oh! And they're swinging from trees like monkeys. And they're marching in a parade. Now stop, said Max. And he sent the wild things off to bed without eating their supper. And Max, the king of the wild things, was lonely. He wanted to be where someone loves him best of all.
Mommy!
Yeah, his mommy. And then from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of the wild things. But the wild things said, oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so. But Max said, nope, goodbye. And the wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth, rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped in his boat and said, goodbye.
That's a dream.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. And he sailed over a year and in out of weeks into a day, into the night of his very own room where his dinner was waiting for him, and it's still hot. How could it still be hot? It's a dream? It was just a quick dream, but it seemed like it was a year? Maybe. Well, we're going to play a W Wild Thing game. We're going to have someone be the Wild King leader. And whatever they do, we have to follow. So if they scratch, then everyone has to scratch. If they bang their chest like a gorilla, then everyone got to bang their chest. If they scratch their head or roll their hands, we have to follow that person. We're going to have two people try and guess who is the wild thing that we're following. So can I have Avery and Thea go by the refrigerator? We'll call you in a minute. And we're going to have someone be the wild thing. All right, we'll start with you. You do something and we're going to follow you, okay? And switch around a lot so we can, okay, guess who the wild thing is? Oakley, you got to follow. The wild thing is scratching. The wild thing is scratching. Do something else now, wild thing. The wild thing is rolling the hands. You think it's Ty? Not Ty. Guess, now Avery's turn. Guess who the wild thing is? Wild thing, do something else. The wild thing is slapping. Who is it, Avery? Michaelia? Nope. Oh, wild thing is clapping. Who's the wild thing? Who is it, Thea? Nope. Oh, their 3 guesses are up. It was Mahita. They never guessed her. But good try to guess that W wild thing. We're going to do something else besides W for wild. I have this animal that starts with W.
Whale.
It's a whale. And we're going to have some of our friends be the whales. I would like you to circle around when the music starts, and you guys are my singers, okay? So you guys have a very important job to do because we're going to be singing this song. It's called Baby Beluga.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea, swim so wild and we swim so free. Heaven above, the sea below, and a little white whale on the go. Sing, baby beluga, baby beluga. Is the water warm? Is your mama home with you? So happy. Way down yonder where the dolphins play, where you dive and splash all day. The waves roll in and the waves roll out. See the water spouting out of your spout.
W for whales. Protect your young. Hold it nicely. Whales. Baby whale do 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 do. Baby whale do 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 do. Mommy whale do 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 do. Mommy whale do 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 do. Daddy whale do 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 do. Daddy whale do 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 do. They protect their babies do 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 do. Form a circle do 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 do. Sharks are hunting do 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 do. They are hunting do 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 do. Sharks attack do 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 do. They attack do 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 do. Yay, our babies live because they held strong. Good job, Mommy and Daddy, for protecting their young. I'll take all the whales. While we're in the circle, I have some W and X. And we're going to fish it up. If it's a W, well, we want W because it's W day. We hope we get W, but if not, if we have an X, then put it on the X side. Oakley, let's see what you get. Oakley has a ox. An ox has an X. Ox. Okay, one for the X side. Let's see what Mahita gets. Mahita has web. Web starts with W. Spiders make webs, huh? One for the W side. W1. So we're going to say the W things. Everyone say web. Watch. Watermelon. Witch. Wings. Thank you. If you look on the calendar, President's Day is coming up. They have birthdays too, but today is our holiday for our presidents, and one of our presidents starts with W. George Washington. His face is on a dollar bill and a quarter. But I have a little story, and at the end I'll ask you for some W things. Little George Washington was born on February 22nd, 1732. It was almost his birthday, and his dad had a very special present for him. He'd be turning 6 years old, and he was his dad's big helper. Sometimes he was allowed to cut the watermelon if he's careful with the knife. He washed the windows, and he also weeded the garden. Little George was a really big helper. On the morning of George's birthday, George's dad had a surprise. It was a hatchet. George always wanted a hatchet. Be careful, said his dad. I don't want you to hurt yourself. George was so excited to try it out. Thank you, Dad. I promise I won't hurt myself. George's dad kissed him goodbye and rode off on his horse to work. When his dad was gone, George looked for something to try his new hatchet on. The closest thing was the dad's cherry tree. George took out his little hatchet and started to peck at the tree. Peck, 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 peck. He was having so much fun pounding on the tree, but he didn't notice that suddenly the tree fell over dead. Oh no, screamed George. He knew his dad would be so mad. His dad loved to eat cherries from that tree, and cherry pie was his dad's favorite. And George didn't realize he had cut so much and killed the tree. Just then, George looked down the road and saw his dad coming home from work on his horse. When his dad saw the cherry tree, he was furious. "Hey, who cut down my favorite cherry tree?" George was scared. He knew his dad was very mad. Even so, George bravely answered, "Father, I cannot tell a lie. I cut down the cherry tree with my hatchet." George Washington's dad walked up very close to little George. He patted him on the back and said, "Your honesty and bravery is worth more than 1,000 cherry trees. I'm so proud of you for telling me the truth, even when I was really angry." And he hugged George. George was surprised his dad was proud for telling the truth instead of being mad at him. That night was a happy celebration for George's birthday. But there was no cherry pie because the cherry tree was dead, but there was a birthday cake. And even more important than the birthday cake was this: George had passed the test of honesty and bravery. So on this first page, there was some W things. Anyone see what they are, Kaylani?
Watermelon.
Watermelon. What else, Packer? Wash. Window. Pai.
Washington.
George Washington, the Washington. And what is he doing to the garden? Oakley?
Weed.
Pulling the weeds. Ooh, you guys got all of it. You guys are amazing. Raise your hand if you have a favorite one. Packer. What? We were swimming. Whale. We were swimming like a whale, weren't we? Let's do a whale. Well, you make his little circle blowhole, because he has to blow out the water and breathe. His mouth and his tail. And he has a little fin to swim with. His eyeball. And here is the water spouting out. Let me get a darker one. Let's spell the word whale. Everyone say W. H. A. L. E. Whale. What else starts with W? Michaelia?
Watermelon.
Okay, we're going to save that one for tomorrow, because tomorrow will be watermelon day, okay? Ty? Web. That's easy. Draw a circle and make it bigger and bigger. And who lives on the web? Oh, yeah, we can make a spider living on the web, waiting to catch her fly. Everyone say W. E. B. I got room for one more. Pai. What? Water. Ooh, we could make the water in the ocean. Here's some waves. Even the whale lives in the water. Everyone say W. A. T. And is ER. And let's say a sentence. What can we say? Maybe about a whale. Pai?
The whale's in the water.
The whale's in the water. Everyone say the is T. H. E. Two finger space. Now spell whale. W. H. A. A-L-E. Good. The whale is I-S. N-I-N. The T-H-E. When we run out of space, we have to go back over here. Water. Everyone say W. A. T-E-R. At the end is a period. Tell me when to stop when I get to a W. No. Yeah. And what is our sentence? The whale is in the water. For our big W, it takes up the whole line. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Then the little one is just from the dotted line. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. And then it's a pattern. Big W, little W. Big W, little W. Okay, I think we have just a minute for you to write a W on the board right under here. Can I have Thea come write a W? Mahina, come write a W. All right, who's going to do the water today? Who's going to do the web?
Not me.
Who's going to do the whale?
Me.
Ooh, okay, I'd like you to make a W with your fingers. And then I'd like you to look at your friends and say, goodbye, friends.
Bye.